Hello there and welcome to the news review on Unilag TV. My name is Vina Peters. It's been over 5 months since the Academic Staff Union of Universities Asuu went on strike. Classes have been shut, students are at home, and all federal universities have been shut down. The strike has generated lots of concern and conversations among students, parents, and stakeholders in the educational sector. Despite negotiations, the federal government and Asuu have far failed to reach an agreement to end the strike. In the last few days, there have been rumors of frictions among members of Asuu, as some are not entirely in agreement with the union's position in the negotiation. Some members have threatened to pull out of the union and return to classrooms. The question now is Asuu a house divided against itself? Is the federal government's no work, no pay policy shaking its resolve? Joining me to discuss these and other issues is a member of Asuu and a lecturer at the University of Lagos, Mr. Sam Ejiwumi. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Vina. It's good to join you here today.
All right, sir. So let's quickly delve into the matter of the day. So, what is your take about the rumors that lecturers are pulling out of the union?
To tell you categorically, nobody has officially pulled out of the union. Are there voices, are there people that are probably not 100% in agreement with the situation? But it's only natural that when you have a group of people, there are people that feel aggrieved, that are not 100% in tune with the way things are being done. But generally, a larger percentage, and without conducting any research, because we're academics, but I can tell you that well over 90% of the people, the members of the union, are in agreement with the leadership. And that is because there is a reason why we embarked on the strike, yeah? And until the purpose is achieved, there is no going back for us as a union. So it's not just about an individual, it's about a fight for the soul of the university of tertiary education in Nigeria. So it's fine.
So you guys are ready to go if it's 1 year?
If it takes that much for us to, we hopefully we won't have to go that long, but if that is what it takes to restore the sanity of tertiary institution in Nigeria, then so be it.
All right, of course, okay, we know how much this strike has affected students in universities. Now, let's come to you. How has it affected you as a lecturer?
Let me put it in perspective for you. If you earn less than what you need to survive monthly, you're already struggling. Now, put it in perspective that even that little that you earn has been suspended for over 5 months. That is the situation of most academias in Nigeria. So what we earn, and naturally, given the inflation and the whole differences in the whole economic system of the country over the last couple of years, looking at the exchange rate, the way, if you want to buy bread, in the market, the bread seller is telling you dollar's gone up, right? And so if you look at that, the whole ecosystem, you realize there's been a lot of inflation. So even what we were earning, don't forget that we've always reiterated that even a professor at bar is earning less than $1,000 a month. So with all that, coupled with the fact that we've not been paid for over 5 months, yes, it's affecting us. However, it's beyond us. It's not just about me. It's not just about the next lecturer at that university. It's about the institution as a whole. It's about the fact that a classroom meant for 50 students is being used by 500 students. It's about the fact that a student is in the laboratory and there is no reagents. There's nothing to work with. It's about the fact that as a mass communication student, you don't have a laboratory. You don't even know what a radio station should be like. you've never seen a camera or a teleprompter. It's about the fact that you are conducting even as little litmus test. There is no burette, there is no pipette. That is what we are fighting for. So it's beyond me. It's beyond the fact that I'm not earning salary at the moment. It's about the future of tertiary institution in Nigeria. It's about the fact that in the next couple of years, will a child of nobody be able to get access to decent education? That is what the fight is about.
And everybody in the union has that same perspective.
It is the reality. So there's a stage things get to that you cannot shy away from the reality. It is eating us. It is sitting in our face. We are seeing it every day. You walk into a class and you're expecting a class of 100, and you are seeing 500 people that want to learn, that are eager to learn. And you as an instructor, as a lecturer, you know that place is not conducive. They can't sit, they are willing to stand. We have dynamic and ever willing students that are ready to learn. But for how long are we going to put them in such detrimental position where they are not internationally competitive? We can't keep doing this to our students.
Okay, let's still stay on you. I'm very sure that you were a student at University of Lagos.
Yes.
And I am also sure that you actually experienced strike actions in your days.
Yes.
So please, can you actually explain to us how that affected you psychologically, academically, and even otherwise?
Well, beyond even that day, till now it's affecting me. As a student, what that does to you is, sincerely, strike is the last resort for the union, right? Because we understand the effect. There's a break in transmission. So you're going at, you're accelerating gradually, and suddenly there's if you're driving at, say, like 60 kilometers per hour, suddenly someone slams the brake. You just, it disrupts your movement and all. That is what students are going through. So the studying has been disrupted, and when people say, oh, when there is strike, go and learn work, go and do this and go, that is not the intention of the union. We don't need a strike for our students to go and learn skills. They have breaks to do that. They can graduate and learn skills. So we are not going on strikes because we need students to go and learn skills, to go and do that and all that. It is because we don't have a choice. It affects the student. We understand absolutely. And it also affects the lecturers, because at a point you're thinking, this class I'm teaching, it's a continuum. Learning is a continuum, right? So you look in this class I'm teaching, do you have to start all over? Do you have to do a whole recap? There's what we call knowledge gap assessment as academia. You have to conduct a knowledge gap assessment before you teach a class. What do they know? What am I trying to teach? Where's the gap? What do I need to fill in? And all that. So with incessant strike, there is a lacuna that you have to fill, which means there is much more work you have to do as a lecturer. So there is no lecturer, and I repeat this for the camera, there is no lecturer in Nigeria that likes strike. But that is the only language that the government seems to understand. Now, let me make it very clear that before the union embarks on any strike action, it has exhausted every means reasonable. And what do I mean? The union would have written letters, the union would have called for meeting, the union would have sought for dialogue, the union would have gone to the press, the union would have done lobbying. We are talking about one of the core agents, one of the core sector in the nation. And you have to employ all these means just for the government to pay attention. So you see, that is not really about the union, it's about the government.
Alright, man, Mr. Sam, just hold that thought. Alright, guys, let's go on a quick break. When we return, we will continue with more questions on Asuu. Don't go anywhere.
Alright then.
Alright guys, welcome. It's still the news review on Unilag TV, and if you are just joining, please feel free to check out our social media platform. It's Unilag on TV across all social media platforms, and we're talking about Asuu strike, and with me in the studio is Sam Ajiwumi, who is actually dissecting every gray areas, every part that we do not understand about the union. So he is dissecting it. Alright, so welcome back, Mr. Sam.
Yeah,
so,
thank you very much, Vina.
All right, so you were saying that students, the gap in the classrooms, you don't just put a break because the whole how do I put it now? The whole mental capacity of the child or of the student becomes, incomprehensible for someone to understand. You said there will be a lacuna in studies.
Yes.
Okay, so now let us now go to the experiences that you have had as a student when you return from long strikes like this. Now, what are your expectations on students when they come back from strikes?
I mean, like I said earlier, that while it's a double-edged sword, so as it affects the students on one hand, it affects the lecturers on the other hand. I mean, very recently I was making a joke that, but I'm sure that by the time students return to classroom, I have to go and Google how to teach students and how to lecture students. But the truth is this is our reality anyway, even though I was just doing that as a joke. It's a reality in the sense that you have to now check what have they been up to while we're on strike. Are they still at the same pace? Do you have to start all over again? I mean, it's a whole... It's a process no one wants to go through, yeah? Because it's a nightmare. Don't forget the fact that the period while the strike subsides, they've been away from learning. So you have to now gradually ease them into learning. We don't just dump everything on the students. When a session resumes, that's why we have introductory class, overview, and all that. You gradually introduce them into a topic. You start from what we call the known to the unknown. There is what we call learning pedagogical tools. There's a method through which students should be taught. I'm not going to come into a class and dump all the essentials on the student. I want to ease them in gradually. Now it means that when the strike is cut off, I have to reboot. I have to start that all over again. I mean, there's something they call combustion reaction in chemistry. So it means that the more you press on the brake, the more fuel you're going to consume during the process of driving. It means that the more you go on strike, the more you have to restart again. That is the meaning of the strike. So, in all fairness, and when you look at it, the union is not interested in strike. As a matter of fact, strike is a child of necessity. If Asuu has a way, Asuu would never go on strike. Because we understand the implication, not just for the student, but for the lecturers as well. So that is it.
Okay, now, so with NLC coming into the picture, so do you think the nationwide protest is actually going to propel the federal government to, give a positive response?
All right. So apparently, it's obvious that the government has developed a thick skin, as it were, towards the strike, and perhaps has decided to display a level of irresponsibility. I mean, no parent, and the government is supposed to be an ad hoc parent, for the student, and so no parent would want to see their words out of school and all that, but the government seems not to care, as it were. However, our reality is that not that the government does not care, but the government simply cares about the things that affect it. The aviation sector threatened to go on strike, and all of a sudden there was aviation fuel. I mean, we had bad fuel in the country, and all of a sudden it was resolved, and no single person was fired. I mean, people were kidnapped, and someone came on the TV to say that, we had talked about this, we needed to install these things, and nobody was fired, and there was resolution. I mean, some known group invaded federal government facility for 3 hours and freed hostages from a prison facility, and still nobody was fired. So it's not that the government does not respond to certain things. The government only choose what to respond to, and if NLC joining the strike is when government would choose to respond, then perhaps that's the next level. That's what should happen. So our union is definitely going to give its maximum support. We're going to mobilize all our members, and all members have been instructed to fully comply. We're going to have our kickoff point, and we'll join the strike and we'll protest. It's an SOS, and the Save Our Soul is to save the soul of tertiary education in Nigeria, even if it comes at a cost to those of us that are currently in the system. But at least posterity will judge us that we did something right for the system.
Okay, there's been this particular question that has been on my mind ever since Asuu started the strike action, and I'm going to put that question to you.
Yes.
Do you think it is actually, or do you think it was wise for Asuu to actually go on this particular strike at this particular point in time, knowing fully well now that this is the, will I say, the end of the race for this particular regime? Couldn't they have waited till the next regime comes before they now table their matter? Don't you think they could have been more strategic about this?
All right, and so when someone is gasping for breath, I mean, someone is dying. Do you wait till the person is dead to call for help? No, you don't wait. Don't forget that government is a continuum. The tertiary education system in Nigeria is gasping for breath. You wait a little longer and it's totally dead. And the woman selling pepper will not only have to worry how to pay her house rent or how to feed her children, she will also have to worry about how to get that a brilliant son or a brilliant daughter into tertiary institution. Don't forget that, see, even the person that is hawking pure water at Oyingbo market is struggling to send the child to a private secondary school. That is how much the secondary and primary education has been bastardized in our nation. Not because they have the resources, but because they understand, they feel that is the only way they can at least give their child a chance of survival. The federal and state university, the government institutions, is the last opium of the masses. If we do not act now, if we have to wait for the next administration, I'm afraid that system would have collapsed totally. I'm afraid if we had to wait to that time, there won't even be a system to rescue, because the system will just be waiting for a burial. And that is the truth. There could not have been a much more strategic time for us to press on the government for a need to save the university, to save the federal institutions from the ruin they've put it in at the moment.
So you're saying if they respond now, that would be the end of strike?
See, I've said this severally and I'm reiterating it. Strike is the last thing any union, Asuu, as a responsible union, wants to go on. Asuu is not synonymous to strike. Asuu is about the welfare of its various stakeholders, its the lecturers and the students. It's about the welfare. Asuu is not about strike. Strike is just one of the tools Strike is just one of the resolve that ASUU is forced to embark upon. As a matter of fact, when you look at the constitution of ASUU and its mandate and what ASUU wants to go about, strike is the least of the thing on the agenda of ASUU. ASUU is about progress. ASUU is about consistency. ASUU is about betterment of the student.
Okay, so now you said progress. Let's stay on progress. So now internationally, tertiary education is not entirely controlled by the government. And back here in Nigeria, some quarters are saying that we should go that route. What exactly is your opinion on that?
All right, so when we look at control and ownership structure, yeah, so ASUU is saying, and that's one of the issues we had. So the government introduced the IPPIS, and we're saying that this takes away the autonomy of the university. And what do we mean? We have our peculiarities. You could be a lecturer here and be visiting. We have exchange programs. We have various things that are unique to the university system. You cannot run a university system the way you run a regular civil service. Globally, the university is autonomous. You cannot now compel us to become, we are not. The university is not designed that way. So, we've asked the federal government to respect the autonomous nature of the university. And we did not just say this thing. And that is the problem. We are a fact-based union. So, as we have said, we cannot work with IPPIS. It's restricting the autonomous nature of the university. But we did not just stop there. We are saying, this is the alternative. Let's go with UTAS. What is the process? Because we are not just suggesting a system on the ground. Subject it to every fidelity test that it should be subjected to, which it has been subjected to, and it has come out 100%. It has surpassed the existing protocol that the government is currently using. So why do we have a problem? You are saying we should go with this. We are saying let's go with this. You are saying this is better. We are saying put the two to test. You have come to see that the one we are suggesting is better, is cheaper, is giving you a better result. What is still the problem? So, it's not rocket science. We are not asking for things drawn from the air that is not fact-based. Everything the union has said and that the union is saying is proven. If the president is here talking, he will be telling you the same thing. And that is the fact. And that is our position as a union.
All right, Mr. Sam, do you have any final words?
I mean, it's simple. One of the things that is very important is for people to understand that this strike is not just about lecturers. This strike is about saving the future of tertiary education in Nigeria. And what we are doing now, I understand it is not convenient. It is not convenient for the students. It is not convenient for the lecturers. It is not convenient even for we have vendors, we have traders, we have non-academic staff. It is not convenient for everybody. But if this is the way, if this is what is needed to get us to where we need to be or close to where we need to be, then I want to encourage everyone to please bear with us and stay true to the cause until we achieve what we need to achieve. Together we are stronger, and we need to stay together so that we achieve and we save the university, the tertiary education, from the decay that it is being pushed to. Yes.
All right, Mr. Sam, thank you very much. So that's all we can take on the show for today. Remember to follow us across all our social media platforms at Unilag on TV. My name is Vina Peters, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.